What in the heck is the administration talking about? First of all, about domestic military operations, and secondly, to display the audacity to declare that the Fourth Amendment does not reach and does not surround those operations, whatever they are, with the protections of the Fourth Amendment. The administration takes the power that it inherits from its predecessor and considers it a floor, not a ceiling. So if we don't get a handle on this now in some form or fashion, the next administration and the one after that, regardless of party, will take these abuses, these powers, these liberties with the fundamental institutions of our government and take them to even higher and higher levels. Mr. Chairman, what we're facing now is a constitutional clock, and it is counting down what remains of the Constitution of this great land. If I might ask to be introduced into the record, the disappearing Bill of Rights. This is the Bill of Rights that we as members of the Judiciary Committee know it, as adopted in 1791. This is what it is fast becoming. I quote, "The right of the people to be secure in their persons, houses, papers, and effects shall be delegated to the United States." If I might introduce that into the record.
Without objection.
But if in fact the decision before this committee and the American people is constitutional inquiry or constitutional silence, then by God, I choose constitutional inquiry.
The question of education. He has stood before values voters and moral conservatives claiming that he is their spokesman. You know the major problem in American education today? We allowed the judges to drive God out of our schools. We allowed the moral foundation of this republic, which is that we are created equal and endowed by our Creator, not by our Constitution or our leaders, with our rights. If we don't teach our children that heritage and the moral culture that goes along with it, we cannot remain free. They will not be disciplined to learn science, to learn math, to learn history, to learn anything. And they don't want to talk about this, except when they're squabbling about their own personal faith and forgetting that we have a national creed. And that national creed needs to be taught to our children so that whether they are scientists or businessmen or lawyers, they will stand on the solid ground of a moral education that gives them the discipline they need to serve the right, to exercise their freedom with dignity, and to defend justice because they understand it is our heritage.
Government. We've been involved at the federal level for over 50 years. We've had a Department of Education. It used to be the policy of the Republican Party to get rid of the Department of Education. We finally get in charge and a chance to do something, so we doubled the size of the Department of Education, and we have no child left behind. The teachers don't like it, the students don't like it, and the quality of education hasn't gone up. The cost of education has gone up. So we need to look to our local resources. We need to release the creative energy of the teachers at the local level, but what we can do immediately is to give tax credits. I have a bill that would give tax credits to the teachers to raise their salaries. At the same time, we should encourage homeschooling and private schooling and let the individuals write that off. The parents have to get control of the education. It used to be parents had control of education through local school boards. Today, it's the judicial system and the executive branch of government, the bureaucracy that controls things. And it would be predictable that the quality would go down. The money goes to the bureaucrats and not to this educational system at home. You found your darkness stands on a thread of pinhole line, and all you wanted was perfection. You found your darkness stands on a thread of pinhole line, so all you want is contradiction.
I mean, the fact of the matter is the Constitution is in trouble, and it's not going to get any better with either of the two major party candidates running for president. Take a look at the record. We have the Constitution, adopted in 1787, the Bill of Rights, incorporated as a part of the Constitution just 4 years later, 1791. The First Amendment protects freedom of speech, freedom of assembly, freedom of political expression. McCain-Feingold, Senator McCain's signature piece of legislation, blasts a hole right through the First Amendment. Second Amendment, the right to keep and bear arms. Where does Senator Obama stand on that? Nowhere near. Is definitely not a supporter of the Second Amendment. And then you go down to the Fourth Amendment, which protects the basic privacy of every citizen of this country to be free from government intruding into their lives, their papers, their homes, their offices without a good reason. Both Senators McCain and Obama have supported and continue to support federal legislation that allows the federal government, that permits the federal government to surveil electronically every citizen in this country without ever going before a court to establish a good and sufficient reason to thus invade their privacy. And just recently, we saw Senator Obama and Senator McCain both line up in support of federal bailouts of the housing industry, of various economic and business entities. Where's the authority of that? We don't know where their authority is, but I can tell you this. It is not consistent with Article 10, Amendment 10 of our Constitution, because it definitely takes away power that resides in the people and in the states. So we're in a very difficult time. We're in a very dangerous time. We have a president that believes he can do anything he wants so long as he claims he's doing it in the name of and as the commander-in-chief. We have two candidates running for president on the Republican and Democrat side that believe also very strongly in essentially doing whatever they want. No regard for the Constitution whatsoever. The only way, friends, that this is going to change is to put somebody into office, the office of the President of the United States, that actually understands, believes, and is firmly committed to supporting this document, not just its intent, but in its letter. That's what we need. And that's what the Libertarian Party, with Bob Barr at the head of its ticket, will bring to you, the American people.
Don't you know the cost of your betrayal?